I may owe some cats an apology.
Who was that band? I forgot.
Well, and actually, I don't owe anybody an apology, by the way. But we had some. Well, we basically used little music from the Vatican gift shop from STP last time as like, well, that's where the slide of music started, huh? And it's not. Number 4 is where the slide of music started.
Yeah.
For STP.
Yeah, I agree. It's not even necessarily a bad change either, but it is a change. A pretty drastic one, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's an evolution. If you throw on core and then you throw on purple and then you throw on little music or tiny music, damn it, it's a change. It's an evolution. Yeah. And number 4 brings back a little bit of that raw edge, but the problem is that I was already like, okay, we're good.
We're done here. I've moved on to other things.
And I know that they put out some other shit, and I know they got a guy right now who sounds just like Scott Weiland, but 3 albums, it's going to be relegated, some wonderful memories, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, sometimes that's enough.
Right.
You know, I mean, not all bands can be incredibly kick-ass their entire lives. It's impossible.
I feel like I'm in that same spot, the uncomfortable spot of being a Lane Staley fan, of Alice in Chains. He's like, well, he's dead, so I guess I'm done here. I'm not, though. I can appreciate, man, if you gave me tickets to STP tomorrow, I'm there.
Oh, of course.
But
because, I mean, it's still everybody else.
It's still the DeLeo brothers and that dude on the drums.
Isn't it funny, though, that, even Alice in Chains, with Lane Staley dying, they get William Duvall, and it's not that, I don't want to say better, but they're still holding that high standard and producing great music.
The difference is they're able to do different things that are often better things than the original incarnation with Lane Staley.
And William Duvall's one hell of a guitar player.
That
helps out so much.
Shit, yeah. Oh, well. And I'm not going too deep down a hole initially, but Krista's looking a little puzzled.
Was that an Alice in Chains
I
pun?
just wondered if maybe it's because the lead singer defines a band so much, so maybe when a lead singer changes, it kind of changes the whole tone and feeling of a band. So,
sure. Well, unless you're nerds like we are. So.
I don't think you should give up. I just think sometimes, and I don't know, there's plenty of groups that I've liked for a few albums, and then I was just like, nah, their new sound is not for me, and that's okay.
No Mike Portnoy, fuck Dream Theater.
Who said that? Was that me? I think that was me.
Welcome to the Mead and Metal podcast, where we get together and talk about our 2 favorite things.
We forgetting something?
No. Oh, the MMA thing? Yeah, that had to go. Because you know what? I'm not giving an extra $5 for every pay-per-view for the rest of the year. Ooh. That's an extra $60 that Dana White's won out of my pocket.
They upped it?
They upped it $5. It's now.
Are you serious?
It is now $74.99 instead of $69.99.
They upped it. It's basically now the price that we make fun of boxing pay-per-views for big.
Exactly that.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Why?
It's bad. Who the hell's going to pay that for boxing? I have to ask myself that on MMA shit. We're going to have to be really strategic about what we want to buy. I'm not because it's only $5, but it's the thought.
It's the principle, man.
Well, they upped it $5 last year too.
So it just seems like a slippery slope to being $5 every year.
And $5 the year before that. So
right.
Since they have moved over to ESPN, they've $15 us.
Holy crap!
And they've upped the price of ESPN Plus.
Holy shit!
So
yeah, they're just trying to nickel and dime you to death.
Not only is the privilege to buy this thing cost you money, the thing you want to buy costs more money now.
I don't want to say I am out on MMA because I'm not. Because there are too many really, really talented fighters that do have they have my attention, they have my interest. But this is clearly an organization. It's like, well, let's strike while the iron's hot. And especially, but it's a bad look when Dana White comes out saying, man, 2021 was our most lucrative year ever. Then why the fuck are you jacking our rates?
Yeah. Exactly.
The WWE did a similar thing where they recorded record profits during the Rona times, all the while firing motherfuckers hither and yon.
Yep. It's gross.
During right in the ball's middle of this thing, about a year ago. Yep. And of course, they've done it again this year. They do it every year. It's their spring cleaning, and they're $1 billion+ company.
Oh, easily.
Let's even bring it back down to like just the normal street level, and that is that so minimum wage has gone up, but people aren't willing to accept minimum wage for their efforts anymore. Like, I think I'm worth a little more than that, and they're calling it the Great Resignation. So you have all these businesses. It's like, how fucking dare these lazy little assholes not come to work for me? I'm like, well, maybe if you pay them more, well, I got to feed my kids too. I get it. If you have a business that is that close on your margin, maybe you should be your only employee, so you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to pay anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
But God damn it, if you're pulling down money like the UFC is, what are you doing?
Exactly. It's absolutely disgusting.
They're wanting us to subsidize their nonsense.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I refuse.
There's no reason why multi-billion-dollar corporations cannot pay their employees more. I get mom and pop shops is a different game. Like, I understand that. It's you have to kind of think about that from a mildly different perspective. Though I have heard of semi-lucrative smaller companies where the owner, the CEO, they take a pay cut. They get paid the same. They get paid 70, and so do the rest of their workers.
Right.
And just to make sure their workers get paid a livable wage.
Sure.
So, it's just you have to maybe sometimes make the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be all right if some of this money was going to the fighters.
Yeah,
it's
not going to them. Who's it going? Is it lining the pockets of all of
It's
the corporate,
going to
the corporate guys?
it's going to Conan O'Brien.
Oh,
It's going to
yeah.
the shareholders that are Endeavor.
So it's
It
not
used to be
even going to the
IMG. It's
bodies.
Endeavor now.
Oh.
Endeavor wants their money. They spent $4.5 billion to buy the UFC from the Fertittas and Dana White, and then so Fertitta's like, cool, let's just count this money all the way to the bank. Dana White's like, y'all need a president.
So
That's what's so fucking
So is Dana
insane.
White still? I assume he's still cashing in.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
enormously, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and everybody goes after him. It's like, man, you ought to pay the fighters more. You ought to pay the fighters. Yeah, you probably should. The problem I have is that we know that is a corporation that makes a pile of money. With Endeavor and Disney laughing all the way to the damn bank.
Yeah.
And those are corporations that don't really need more money because all these investors jumped in. It's like, hey, they got Conor McGregor. This is like, and they got Ronda Rousey. This is the company we want to buy. Well, reality check. Maybe fucking don't put that much faith in fighters to be able to give you ROI, return on investment.
It's great for a little bit, but then they go away.
Yeah.
Connor don't make no one money. Connor makes Connor money.
Yep.
If you
Ain't
bought
nobody else.
He's
in
a messy bitch.
with
That's true.
IMG, which is now Endeavor, if you bought in on that and you're thinking this is gonna fix a lot of my ills in the short run, you're wrong. But if you're playing the long game, it will eventually do that. I mean, and I know that probably Endeavor will look to sell to somebody as soon as they can value out that company at about $7 billion.
Jeez.
That's just sky's the limit after that point.
Well, somebody else will buy out and thinking, man, we can turn this around, flip this, and sell it for $12 billion, and then somebody else will come along like, we can flip it for $20 billion. And at some point, you're dealing with fucking nonsense and a bunch of paper tigers and a whole lot of people like, man, this company ain't worth that
Y'all
shit.
remember 50 years ago when there were real killers doing this shit? Like, nah, those days are gone.
But the pay-per-view thing, to give it some perspective, because I used to watch, man, a long time ago, and then really they kind of burned me out. I was getting really tired of the nonsense because they were coming up with a bunch of fake shit. The fake shit being like, oh, I don't know, pound for pound fighter, best fighter. That's bullshit. It's a popularity contest. They weren't making a whole lot of overtures to try to really keep the fan base supported because they used to be on Spike, once upon a time.
Yeah, I remember.
And you could watch a lot of that. Pay-per-views were kind of rare. They do like 6 a year.
Yeah.
And they were $35.
Mm-hmm.
And they were huge cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it was a big deal. I remember.
Now they want to go. You want to get $75 pried out of my pocket? Fuck, I don't think so.
Shit's going to cost you over $1,000 if you want to watch all these pay-per-views
Yeah,
this year.
exactly. Was that like in the 2010s, like the heyday?
It was
on
around
Spike?
2000,
Okay.
right around 2010. yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
And I
feel
backed
like
out for about 3.5 years till I started hanging around with this goddamn joker.
Yeah, that fucking guy. Oh, wait, shit. That's me.
So I guess it is the Mead Metal and MMA podcast, but
Well, we're not the Mead Metal UFC podcast.
no, there's that too. Which there's a lot of shit going on with the UFC. We'll get to a little bit later. How was your week?
It's been all right.
Okay. You smug
I
cocksucker.
know. I mean, it's been okay. 49ers are in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
Playing Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
looking
that's-
forward to it.
I'm not a balls deep NFL fan, but if it's anybody playing the Cowboys with a couple of exceptions, I'm probably supporting that.
Yeah. So it should be a good Sunday.
Wait, is this what game? See, this is how out of touch I am
Yeah,
with NFL.
49ers and the Dallas Cowboys are playing on Sunday.
These bad boys right here.
Is this
Yeah.
the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, okay. It's
No.
a playoff game.
It's a
Okay,
playoff
I was
road,
like,
yeah.
really?
It's the road to.
I was
Yeah.
like, the 49ers and the Cowboys? How did that happen?
Yeah.
That
Interesting.
doesn't sound possible, right?
Right. It's a little wild card round, and then next week, then it goes to what the
Wild card, divisional.
divisional,
and
and
then
then
conference.
and then Super Bowl 2 weeks after that. So.
Gosh.
It's weird with it starting mid-January, though.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, they're just doing what every other sport does, and eventually, because people that are fans of sports that have a short season, oftentimes that is kind of a big reason they like it. They're not having to dedicate 9 months to it. If you're
Yeah.
a hockey fan or an NBA fan, you have all of my sympathies because them shits start in October and they ain't done with their championship game till June.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Money. That's the same reason why the NFL added an exhibition game and a regular season game. Money.
Yeah, this whole.
But how do we get
18
more
week-
money? Oh, add another game. You fucking make X number of dollars. And they listen to the accountants go, fuck yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's like, but I thought you guys were concerned about player health and
Yeah.
head injuries. And
Yeah.
it's like,
They're like,
let's throw some money at something and then make it look good.
donations,
Man,
right? Donations.
If it were up to the Colts and the Chargers, I bet they'd be like, why can this shit been 17 weeks? We'd have been in the playoffs.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Colts don't deserve in the playoffs. You lose the fucking worst team in the league twice.
I sympathize. I really do.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
At least the Minnesota Vikings had the good taste to, not even fucking even be in that discussion. Yeah,
They had a week of just trying to ruin someone else's day.
Yeah.
Did they win their last game of the season?
Yeah, but it didn't
shit.
didn't mean shit.
Not enough to keep the coach.
No. Isn't that an interesting thing? Is that kind of where it's not just the NFL. Every professional sports team, if they don't win the whole shebang or get themselves into the playoffs, that coach is gone most of the time. Football, it's a lot more. It's highlighted a lot more.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's like, you got 1 year, maybe 2.
That
Get
dude
something
down,
done.
that dude down in Miami. That guy, they beat the Patriots twice, went on a 7-game win streak. They finished out the season with a reasonable record. Didn't make the playoffs, but what are you going to do? That's a division that the Patriots and the Bills are in. And that guy gets fired.
It's tough. I mean, he'd been there, what? Couple years.
3
right?
years.
3 years.
And that
And
team
it
got
didn't-
better every
Yeah.
year. Every year. He took over teams like 1-15, I think, 2-14 maybe.
They were not doing well.
They were
They were not
terrible.
doing well at all.
And I mean, realistically, if they'd have kept him on, I think they get Miami into a playoff situation next year. But no, they fired him, so they're going to go back to zero. Speaking of zeros, the Houston Texans. I kept saying the Jacksonville Jaguars might be the worst team in the league. Houston might have an argument
Yeah.
to make. And
I love 'em.
They
They're
fire their head coach. Now the league. I don't want to say it's a bad look, but they're down to one African American head football coach, one out of 30 teams.
We need Tony Dungy to come out of retirement.
As the little Zoomers would say, that is a bad look,
It's a
sweaty.
very bad look.
What about Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
He's it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yikes.
No. So if you're thinking, that smacks of racism. Oh, you're right. Actually, you were absolutely fucking.
But you
right.
go back to that Colin Kaepernick thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Kaepernick's a problem because he's a shitty quarterback.
Yeah. No one wants to say it. But I really, really appreciate it. He's great. But football player, I don't think so.
Pay a little lip service is like, yeah, he's a good human. Yeah, that's why you don't have him on a roster.
Shit. Like, so am I. So are we equals or what? How come I don't have a Nike shoe?
You are equals because you are both not playing. You're both not quarterbacks in the NFL.
I think I own more 49er gear than he does. So I think I'm winning.
Maybe.
I think I'm winning. Well, I own this and a hat.
I mean, why would that? You think that You think any active player or former player actually still has a lot of fucking swag? I wouldn't think so, right?
Think they just goodwill that shit?
Maybe
Nah, probably
sell
sign
for
it, make a
money.
buck or two.
Yeah.
My
yeah, maybe.
hoodie
I would
from
think
my
they would
first
have
season.
some signed jerseys that they would probably keep as like
Yeah.
memorables that are
Yeah.
like framed or something.
Kind of hanging on to some shit. And it's like, well, this is
Yeah.
for when times when we get
Oh,
we
and-
get into the cold times.
Got to get on eBay for our last few $100s.
So how was your week, Krista?
Great. No, not really. But we
Oh,
won't talk about
don't
that.
lie. Don't lie. You can just say it's been tough.
It's been.
Yeah, it's been. Yes. I actually heard that song on the radio today. Made my day.
You know, I had a great week with Ariel. I'll say that. I got to do a whole bunch of cool shit in pull and open apparatus and hoop. So, yeah, I did a bunch of shit this week. So that part was really dope.
The fact that you, how long you been doing that for?
Since March.
Fuck.
So almost a year.
That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
Because anything I witnessed someone else do that I feel is like impossible. That's great. It's like, because I don't know a lot of people that do shit like that and stick with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel like a different person when I'm up
Well,
there.
you are. You look different. In the photos you share, you just look. I don't want to say it's not real, but you look different. You look like a different person
I'm like
altogether.
ecstatic. It's a really weird feeling. It's not a feeling I normally feel. So
Like
yeah, I'm
home-
gonna keep doing it. I like the the dopamine and stuff, the rush.
Endorphins.
Yes.
Hell yeah, man.
You,
I'm gonna give
you've
it
come
a
a
try.
long way, baby, to quote Virginia Slims from back in the
Thanks.
day.
I appreciate it.
No, I mean you look like a gym rat, but
I do, don't
I
I?
mean, which I know you're in the gym a
I
lot, but I mean,
kind of am.
but a lot of your bulk, that's where you're rounding out your
aerial.
shoulders. It's all aerial
It
stuff.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, we do a lot of supplemental. In fact, my trainer has kind of like tweaked my workouts for aerial and for me to continue to improve. So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right on.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate that.
No, I love to see when somebody finds a thing that they fucking love that they didn't know that they
Right.
would.
I didn't even know it existed. I had no idea it was something that I was even missing, and then it's just like filled a space that I
I felt that
"Dang,
way
man.
about porn. I was like,
How did I not know this existed?
what? Why is there so much hate in the world? Look at these tits.
I mean, there's a variety of things that I'm constantly like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, and it's usually something that is cool for a short-lived time. But I always correct to normal, and my normal is cooking and playing guitar.
Yeah.
Those are my two favorite fucking things.
Absolutely.
And hanging out and drinking with friends.
Hell yeah.
So usually, if I pick up anything else, it's going to be a temporary thing.
Sure.
I mean, I will go in balls to the wall on the whole thing, and then when I kind of hits its runs, like, okay, I'm good. I'm
Right.
Thoroughly explored. Time to go.
Like,
good. Time to go ahead and work on dumbing down Eruption again. So,
Heard that Sebastian Bach had some cool jams.
boy, that's a couple of Sebastian Bach references in 1 week from my perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Proper ones at that.
Because these guys had got me a Strymon pedal over the holidays. It's a reverberator, and I ended up stumbling completely blindly onto an effect that makes my guitar sounded exactly like Skid Row's intro to 18 Life to Go.
Oh, how funny.
So yeah, and Brandon's like, hey, it's just like if Sebastian Bach was there singing along with you from the grave, if he wasn't still alive, that is.
Oh.
Or something to that
I
effect.
had to check.
There's talk about weird things going on and people not trusting modern journalism, and I'm not a defender of modern journalism because I'm not in that role anymore. The thing that's making the big news today is Mean Gene Okerlund died, and I thought, didn't we do this on the fucking podcast a couple of years ago? Yeah, we did, and it's just now for some reason getting bounced around the internet again like it's brand new, to where then Yahoo Sports has put up there a disclaimer going, by the way, this is the original story. It's making the rounds again, and we don't know why.
Weird.
It's got to be someone like fucking people saying Adam Sandler was dead on the internet. It's got to be that type of shit.
Well, I mean, shit. What's the old one? The old tried and true is Morgan Freeman, right? Every time. It's like, oh, shit, tell me Morgan Freeman's still alive. Yeah, Morgan Freeman's still alive. Oh.
It's like, all right, damn it, I've shed too many tears over it, so when he does die, it's like, I have none. I haven't got any more.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Finally. Fucking finally.
No more torment.
Now, Bob Saget, that's another story.
Bob Saget is another thing, man.
That was a bummer.
I wasn't a fan of the guy, but my only point of reference was America's Funniest Home Videos, and he would over the top laugh at some of this shit, and it's like, this is dog shit. Why are you laughing? And he had a weird. If I would have figured out back then, it's like, oh, that's his jokey laugh. Like they're paying me to laugh.
Yeah,
so
He's like a Christian Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. It's a pretty good analogy. He was a cornerstone character or person for me because we watched America's Funniest Home Videos, and I was a kid when I watched Full House.
Full House.
Like single-digit kid. So, I mean, I obviously haven't watched his stuff in ages, so decades, so I don't have like a really tight feeling,
I wasn't a big fan because, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of clean comics and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
It turns out I should have loved the guy because he had one of the more fucking crazy shows, apparently. This guy he would put it all out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like watching Half Baked. And fucking the dude, Dave Chappelle, is at AA for fucking weed. And Bob Saget stands up and is like, oh, yeah? You ever suck some cock for coke?
Oh!
I was like,
That's where all the jokes are coming from, too. If you
Holy
see memes
shit.
involving, like, he didn't even have to suck any cock. It's all back to half-baked,
I had no idea how funny.
yeah, after that, I was like, I got to look.
I just always assumed he was like sweet and innocent and blah blah.
No.
Well, that's
No,
fine.
pretty R-rated, for sure.
And the thing that's really interesting is that as much as you would think, like, well, this guy, he's a comedic actor. His stand-up shit's not really where he shines. Man, that dude had a lot of friends that they were all stand-ups. I mean,
It's fascinating.
across a weird spectrum, too, from, like, Bill Burr to Dave Chappelle and everything in between. Even
I
that
heard about
fucking,
Dave
even that
Chappelle.
idiot Rogan. I mean, but he's fucking, yeah. I mean, that guy was beloved by every comic out there. I mean, of course, you're not going to talk shit, so I don't know. Yeah, you got to snuff that out like 6 months down the road, right? Smoke it out, like, who's talking shit about the guy that died like 6 months ago? Huh?
Exactly.
But
Don't you have a soul?
are you prepared for this coming week when Betty White would have hit 100 and the craziness that's going to be ensued there? Really, all the people wanted was to see her hit 100, and then that would have been it. It would have just moved on.
That's so sad.
It's weird to me, though, and especially because then you had your crazy fucks out there trying to say it was because she'd got a booster. It's like, it's like it turns out it's weird, but 99 is a hard age to reach. I don't know if you're aware.
Imagine that.
And
Wow.
and they basically said it was a stroke. So
I mean,
A
gosh.
99-year-old woman having a stroke. The hell you say?
Yeah. Wow. What a shocker.
What's next?
So, yeah, so I think a lot of people are going to be really mournful on what would have been her 100th. But I think after that, it's pretty smooth sailing
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
somebody else big dies. So,
Trying to think if there's anybody out there.
David Crosby, I've been expecting for like 10 years now. Matter of fact, if there's like a money pool, I would be fucking so far behind. I'd be like betting 10 grand on that guy's death this year.
Who's got a death pool? Who's running the death pool this year?
I mean, that is like, there's no way that guy's seeing the end of this next year, right? He's still around.
Pretty iffy.
They roll out a bunch of shit about music in the 60s and hippies and shit like that. Oh, fuck me, there's David Crosby right there. It's every time.
So, I guess if you were to make a bold prediction for a music individual to pass away this year, the big one, because there's always one.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be this year?
See, and I'd love to say David Crosby, but clearly I'm fucking fucked in the head on that one because I've been wrong for a decade. So, and on top of that, I think you make the argument David Crosby's not that big.
Yeah, and he's still, probably just drinking and whoring and.
I think you probably had to curtail much of that activity. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go Noel Gallagher.
Ooh, not Liam?
No.
Let's see. Noel's one that put a syringe in his veins, drew blood, and like squirted it at a camera crew, right?
It's some nonsense. I mean, everybody from Oasis is fucked up. But
Yeah. God, I don't get that band.
So I was just going. I was going like, well, he's not young, but he's younger, so certainly prone to still making mistakes in his 40s, probably, right? Or 50s. I'm legit not sure how old that guy is.
Golly, he's got it, probably 50s.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
either that or fuck, man. Anybody from Green Day, maybe that'd probably be apropos. Although I mean, none of them were like heavy drug users or anything, though. I think they only use like the good ones.
The front dude. What's his name? Billy Joe. He
Joel. No,
the one that had the
Billy
meltdown.
Joe,
Yeah.
The one that had the meltdown on TV and like was talking shit, and then had to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Wee.
You know, which that always sticks in music. Rehabs do.
Wee.
James Hetfield proved that.
Oh, okay. I got one for you then. What about that curly-headed fuck that fronts Greta Van Fleet?
Ooh, now if you're talking like drug-based death of 2021,
Is he 27 yet? Because that might be important.
ooh,
There's a weird 27 curse. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, you roll out all these musicians that died at the age of 27. Like, damn.
and fucking
Yeah, it's
actors
wild.
too.
Yeah. And that's where I clearly, it's like, fuck, I should have perished way back in, when the hell would that have been? 97?
04?
97? I should have died in 97. Could have solidified myself as a cunt that's copying everybody else.
Yeah, you know, checked out at the right time. God.
I don't know. That'd be my pick. That Josh Warzenik or whatever. I don't. It's a Polish surname, but
Is it Polish? I thought it was fucking Armenian. But I was like, they ain't hairy enough. They can
yeah,
barely grow facial hair.
right. Well, Armenians are basically like, they've got hair issues, right?
They have a lot of hair.
The funny thing about the Kardashians is because they are all Armenian. Well, half.
Let's see.
So it makes you got to think when you're looking at like Kylie Jenner or I don't know. Well, actually, Kylie's probably okay. It's Kim Kardashian, that bunch.
Josh Kiska is 25.
Kiska, there it is.
Turns 26 this year.
So that'll be my pick next year.
I love it. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. Because yeah, the 27 Club, Cobain, Winehouse, Hendrix, Joppy,
Billy Dean, right?
Jim Morrison,
I thought Billy.
Robert Johnson. But he sold his soul to the devil.
Well, get some good years out of that, right?
Alan Wilson.
I feel like you're starting to kind of hit a little bit of a basement here.
Yeah, no shit. Brian Jones, he was 27 when he died. Fat Pat. Yeah, we've hit the ground.
right.
He, if you can guess his musical genre, I'll give you $1.
Fat Pat, we'll say the odd, like
Bluegrass.
most
We got bluegrass.
say the odd character actor on SNL that you didn't know if it was a man or a woman.
He's a rapper.
Oh, Fat
on,
Pat.
come on,
Duh.
guys.
Oh, you should have told me it's
makes
PHAT. That's,
No, it wasn't.
would've
It's
been-
No,
Fat.
it's Fat Pat.
Fat
Like
Pat.
Fat Joe. Duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Fat Al Yankovic.
Okay.
No, I was wrong. I got that one mixed up.
So fun little experience I'd had today. Because I'm fucking COVID conscious like crazy. So I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I go grocery shopping once a fucking week. And other than that, I'm just at home or at work. That's it. So you can imagine today. So I come home for lunch. I'm clearing some goddamn tumbleweeds out of here because it's a windy day, as it always is here lately.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
Go back to work and my nose won't fucking stop running. And I'd commented to a friend of mine who happens to be a nurse, and she goes, that's one of the signs of Omicron. I'm like, fuck.
A runny fucking nose.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, when we have two offices, this one down here, that's my office. The other office, that's for all the other assholes. And 90% of them were out this past week.
Moron. Shit.
So I immediately thought, well, I guess if I'm going to be a responsible human, I better go down and this can't be too bad, right? It's fucking terrible, by the way.
COVID tests ain't fun.
Yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
awful.
It was like, I get down there and like stick a fucking naval swab up my nose, you know. Like, thanks for that. But they bang out the results real fast. I mean, it was just a little over half an hour, like probably 35, 40 minutes. Something.
Yeah. So it was like, what, the antigen test, right?
Yeah, and come back negative. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
They're like, yeah, well, it could just be some, like, a lot of sinus infections going on. Maybe just really bad allergies. It's like, well, bingo, because my fucking allergies are terrible. So I came home, took a Benadryl, threw back a little syrup, for
that scissor.
for its healing qualities, and
It does have that trait.
proceeded to pass out for a little bit, and woke up, and so I'm a little goofy minded today, thanks to Benadryl, thanks to our friends in the THC side of things,
We
thanks
love you,
to
baby.
Anheuser-Busch.
Thank
and
my mama.
and who knows what else I got going on. But
Jesus.
yeah, that's the
Mama and Jesus. Thank you so much for this
Yeah.
weed and beer
I
and
was-
Benny's.
under the influence of Benadryl, weed, beer, and metal. That's it.
Benadryl always tastes like my childhood.
I don't have any. Well, because they're fucking liquid gels. So
I got some chewables
you mean
when I
the-
was a child because apparently I was a little rambunctious.
yeah, you.
I
No
mean,
way.
I thought they were sleep aids till I was 8. Didn't realize they're for allergies.
That's got to be the fun thing. Like, get that kid to
You're
shut
being
up. Yeah, give
drugged
him
with Benadryl? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
My-
you don't
my,
know half of it, sister.
I'm here to tell you that my mother liberally would give me a half a Valium when I was growing up
What?
Oh!
because I was apparently a little rambunctious.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yep. No, my dad had Valiums because he had a heart attack.
Jeez, I'm fucking clutching my pearls, y'all. Damn.
Yeah. And so like there was a ready supply of Valium around
Glad
the
you're
house.
born when you were.
My mother would go in there, she'd cut one of those fucking things in half, and old Kev wasn't exactly nearly as exciting.
Well, yeah, you're all doped up.
God, man, we got to have good times when we were kids. I don't know
Yeah.
how the youth do it these days.
Right? Like, say, could I get some more of them Valiums?
I can't get my baby to stop crying. Pour some Z-Quil down its throat.
Right?
What?
Have you tried choking them out just a little? Just
Didn't
a
your
little.
mom do that to you?
Yeah.
The
Now,
closest thing was the rubbing of the alcohol on the gums. That's the only
Rubbing alcohol in your gums?
not rubbing alcohol, but like dipping your finger in like say Jim Beam or like Jack and rubbing it on a baby's teething gums. Yeah, that's the closest thing that. Has
Okay.
occurred. But I mean that's an old wives kind of.
yeah. Well, actually, it technically works, I
Works,
suppose,
yeah.
because it's still being used. I guarantee you there
A
are
lot of people do it.
fucking probably a third of the
In
kids around
fact,
this
if
country.
I ever have children, I would probably do it too.
I have a picture of me in a closet, curly red hair, little baby diaper, and a mug of beer. And I drank that motherfucker.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was only
Yeah,
30.
There was like
Dumb
there was
tis.
virtually no liquor in the house at my. Well, that's not entirely true. There was like a huge like gallon jug of like Paul Masson or something like that.
Ooh. Just drank it so you could use it as your coin holder.
My folks weren't drinkers, so at all. I mean, I saw my dad drink a beer once, like at a family reunion. He's throwing horseshoes. That was it. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah. My mother didn't drink. Well, now, if you'd get her out, I know that Daryl took her to Red Lobster once and like got her to drinking like pink champagne or some shit like that.
A little rosé.
And apparently she got a little fuckered up there.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that'll do
But
it.
other than that, and trust me, my mother was a person that should have probably drank, actually.
Yeah.
Would have maybe toned her down. Well, maybe it might have made her worse. Maybe she should have been taking the Valiums. I don't know. But
She
But
should
yeah.
have the Valiums. I should have the beer.
now, the saving grace on this is it's not like just some weird whacked out woman just feed me a half a Valium. She was actually a nurse.
Okay.
Not that makes it better,
Not
but
particularly.
she's not going to overdose me.
Yeah,
So-
that part's
Here you go,
nice.
boy.
At least she kind of knew how to dose you based on kig per mig
I
Yeah.
got you your
No
favorite
problem.
cheese.
or mig per kig, I guess. But
The,
anyway,
but yeah, those are little half Valiums for old Kev back when he's like 8, 9 years old and
Apparently you
being
were
having a little too much
I
fun.
don't like that. That's you're hyperactive. Here's some pills. It's like, how about we just let kids be kids and quit
It's like,
being
oh,
assholes?
trust me, I will chill out when I get older. Trust me.
I'll have ways. We'll have some great ways to do it.
Hell, I don't know. You want to talk about Mead? We need to get a batch started. I was actually at Walmart yesterday, and I did not pick up the requisite honey to get a batch started. And we're starting to get a little low in the barrel, which is a problem. But it may not be a huge problem. I think we have about almost a gallon to add, but it is going to be a coffee fucking flavor.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Because I put coffee beans in it.
Oh, and why are you making a sad or like a weird face?
Because I'm going to have to add it to the barrel because we're
Oh, and
almost
you don't
out.
want to do that?
Well,
Well, do
now,
you think the coffee's gonna?
the oak will take on some flavors, but it also moves out pretty fast because we did a fucking Green Man batch in that, and then filled it again after that with like a normal straight batch of mead, and you couldn't taste the green chili at all.
It's
Okay.
gone.
So,
Okay.
in the
I'm
interim,
excited. That's
I'm
cool.
probably going to need to move that over to the barrel, and then we need to get a fucking batch started, which I realize we keep saying that like every podcast. You can probably go back by 2 months.
Yes.
It's been a grip.
It's been.
That's okay.
It's been. I actually heard that song on the radio today, and it made my day.
Good.
It plays on the '90s channel on Sirius XM.
I heard
very
it on.
regularly.
I heard it on Lithium.
Oh,
That's what was weird. I heard it on like a
Lithium
channel I
will play it
enjoy,
occasionally too. Yes.
and just fucking out of nowhere, it's been, and it made. I just fucking immediately smiled. I'd like to say
you
a lot.
can't not.
A lot of it has to do with our fun little bare naked ladies game we have here at the Mead Hall.
right.
But that, and like, I remember hating that song when I was younger.
I did.
Right.
Hated it.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I didn't get it.
Chinese chicken.
And now all of a sudden I get it. I get it now.
Yeah.
And it's just a song to provide a little bit of joy. The
Okay.
harmonies in it are top notch.
I think I've even come around that on most things of the '90s. There's still some dog shit songs. Let's not.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not fucking kid ourselves.
We don't drink that much. We drink a lot. But I mean, drink that much.
Even what's that one that fucking something symphony? Which is,
Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
and it's like
that
I
song.
hated
The
that.
Verve.
I
The
hated
Verve
that.
pipe. Or is the
No,
Verve pipe or the Verve?
I think it's just
I
the
don't
Verve.
know.
I think it's the Verve.
Y'all are gonna have to fact check me on that
It-
one. I have
it was-
no idea.
I think they underwent a name change in the '90s. Went from Verve pipe to just the Verve.
Oh shit.
But
Okay.
yeah, that fucking song's so overplayed on the goddamn
It
radio.
really is overplayed. That's
and
valid.
it was, and I think I'd been, I don't think I'd heard it for
Verve.
like eight or 10 years or something like that, and then it fucking popped on like an autoplay on YouTube. So I was playing a bunch of '90s shit, and all of a
Sure.
sudden I was like, you know what? This song's actually not as horrible as I remember.
Yeah.
Now, if you start force feeding it to me,
Yes.
then I'm immediately going to hate it again.
Most songs, if I hear it too frequently, even if it's by an artist I absolutely love, I can't. I just start to get annoyed. I need something new.
Had a weird thing last night. So we're hanging out with me and Brandon and our friend Jack, and I don't know, it just hit me out of the blue. Well, because there's a Swedish guy. Now, if you're doing like modern folk, you name a band, but you're the band, like Iron and Wine,
sure.
does,
Or
and
Bright Eyes,
Yeah.
or sure.
there's a Swedish guy that has one that's called 10 Towers. And he also makes his money by selling like generic music to people that want to have background music to videos or whatever. That's also part of what he does. But
Okay.
but he has a really similar sound, and it made me think of you to Benjamin Gibbard from Ben Folds 5.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, we've got to play this for Krista sometime because I think she would probably dig this dude, But not saying that like you're the only person that likes Ben Gibbard.
No. I have a huge affinity. Even like I have Postal Service. I have Death Cab for Cutie. He has some weird other offshoot band where I have a couple of songs that someone burned for me. I still have that CD. Yeah, I have a really strange love for
Damn.
all things Ben Gibbard.
Yeah, but his debut of just Ben Gibbard, I forget what the fucking name of it is. Something and something. There's like two names.
Sure.
But that's a fucking good album. Now, I'm also mentioning a lot of this, and I realize this is a metal show. And it's
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
None of this shit is metal.
Yeah, they're like.
But here's the thing: is that man, if you're good, if you work like at a desk and you got to get work done, I can't play Pantera. I just can't.
No.
I'm not gonna get fuck all done.
That's true. They don't have a single song that is conducive to sitting down and doing something,
But
except maybe online gaming.
but 10 Towers and Ben Gibbard, yeah, shit,
That's
yeah,
workable music,
yeah.
definitely.
podcast from 2.5 years ago.
Oh, well, that's when I'm in the kitchen.
That's when I'm getting work done.
That's when I'm doing the old Chinese chicken. Metal. Do we have anything from LJ this week? Probably not, because I know his stuff had melted
Yeah, I have
down,
not
right?
heard from him since the great calamitous downfall of his tech.
Yeah. Why don't we just get him down here? We don't just get him down here.
Agreed.
I mean, get him live in person, and we can jam afterwards.
We'll pay you. We'll give you like what you need, a dollar? We'll give him $1.
Buy gas by the mile.
Yeah, there you go. Give him $5-7. That's about how much it's going for right now.
I'll get him a gallon of
here
milk.
and back.
Kind of cheaper than a gallon of milk. Give him that.
And that's something anyway.
It is. And if you don't like it, he can return it for like a half gallon and something else.
Is there any metal we need to do for the week? Or
gosh, not really. I looked at the releases for the week, and Korn put out a new song. Pretty good. It's fine.
Alex Lifeson put out a new song for an industrial act. Do you have a problem with that? Because he's always going to be known as like, oh, the guitar player from Rush for like 40, years, And now he's working on another project, and a lot of people are a little fucking angry about it.
Really?
Like, how
Angry.
dare you? Like, well,
People aren't allowed to evolve as
You
musicians.
do Rush for 40 fucking years.
Well,
do
is
you
Rush
want to
still
do more
touring?
Rush? No, Neil Peart died, and they retired
yeah.
years ago. Yeah.
It shows how much I know.
It's over.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
well, after they did their R40 tour, and that was their big going away thing
Okay.
and everything else. And, in 6 months, I think, after they retired as a band, then Neil Peart died. And Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, they didn't rule out doing music together again, but they said it wouldn't be a Rush thing. It would be something
it
very
makes
different.
No sense.
Those two cats, it'd probably be some fucking crazy avant-garde jazz shit, probably.
Yeah.
But
We're gonna go on a jazz odyssey.
But Alex Lifeson's in a quote-unquote industrial band now. So.
Fascinating. That's quite a switch.
Yeah,
I gave it a listen. I was being like, this is gonna make some people really, really angry.
my problem is that as a guy that appreciates guitar tone and sound, it sounds nothing like any of the shit he did, which may be good for him, but damn it, it's a little hard to get your head around if you've listened to an evolution of a guitar tone for 40 years and suddenly it's like, no, that's the old Alex. I'm doing some different shit now.
This is new Alex. This is Chris Gaines Alex.
God damn it.
I haven't done that to anybody in a while. Nearly make them spit out their drink.
Chris Gaines, the old Garth Brooks thing will always be right there waiting, right?
Speaking of that, Aaron Lewis got his appendix removed, so he
hope you're
couldn't tour.
I was hoping you were going to say ass kicked, but okay.
Oh, man. I think that's just something that needs to happen.
Yeah. I think it fixed a lot of things, especially, but it's got to be from like a guy that's even more hardcore right wing than he is, right? In order to make it work.
Ted Nugent.
Because otherwise he'd get his ass kicked by Ted Nugent. Oh,
Damn.
there you go.
He probably pulled off, too, because Aaron Lewis is a pussy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Look at him. He looks like a fucking. He smacks of bitch.
I want to, because I'm sure people that listen to this country music, and I apologize for giving Aaron Lewis as much time on our show. But I'm shocked that he could have such a following in country music and be so cocksucking right wing. Yet you go to 97 and this motherfucker is doing depression emo music,
Right.
with Stain.
Hey, that's what you do,
Doing
right?
Country now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
For a few years.
We're gonna have to get you out here more and just show you the shit that's terrible out there.
No, I'm great. I'll just keep listening to Stained on a lithium. Actually,
Don't you? Don't you want to hear Aaron Lewis just basically put down every Democrat that ever lived?
No.
Yeah, there's that. You're gonna love this because when I first started hanging around with you, you were a bartender, right?
Yeah.
So you'll appreciate this. So Aaron Lewis is doing a show here a couple of months ago, and he's forgetting fucking his own lyrics, to his own stuff. Just generally kind of fucking it up, right?
No.
And he immediately goes, "Oh, sorry about that, y'all. I was overserved."
Yeah, great job taking responsibility for your actions, man.
Nothing like blaming.
The
I don't know
bartender.
the people, and I'm positive that motherfucker going, "Bring me 2 beers, 2 shots."
Exactly.
One
Fuck
bourbon,
right
one scotch,
off,
one
you
beer.
dumb dick. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate that shit.
Yeah, he's
people like that. If you don't do what they tell you, they start to harass you.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah, well, Aaron Lewis is that guy. He is that guy.
Yeah.
Why can't we just live in a world where, like, you know what, where you can like look at somebody and go, I don't know how that guy votes. I don't know, and that's okay. That's the world I want to go back to.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? I don't actually want it to frame every fucking conversation. I'm tired. I'm so tired of it.
It fucking shouldn't be, right?
I'm so fucking
What
tired
a
of it.
bullshit existence. Like, man, or else you'll find the dumb people online, like
and they're out there.
like on Facebook, like for like a product or a brand or a band or whatever, and you'll get down in the comments, which is a bad move.
No,
by the way.
don't do it. Don't do it.
And
It's a
there'll
trap.
be somebody there. It's
Admiral Akbar would signify that as a trap.
And then like somebody will comment. It's like, well, this is the dumbest thing I heard all day. Must be a damn. I'm like, that's your go-to for your humor. No wonder
These are people
No wonder
that's-
your neighbor's banging your wife.
These
Come
are
on,
fucking
man.
people that think "Let's Go Brandon" is funny.
Or
Right.
as an insult, which I'm just like, why don't you just say "fuck Joe Biden,"
Here-
man?
here-
Right.
I know.
Exactly.
Say it with your
Have the
chest.
balls. Have the balls.
Right. Like, well, that's vulgar. But if you're using a replacement phrase for that, then
still a
fucking you're still using it.
I wanna-
Grow some balls.
I
Use
wanna
the
be able-
fuck word the way the rest of us
Ah!
I want to be able to go up to one of these people that have like that shit on their fucking pickup bumper and just go up and shake their hand like, look, bro, it's been a hard 2021. I just want to say thank you for these messages of support for me. I really appreciate it. It's because of you I got through the year, because every time I get behind your vehicle and I see that "Let's Go Brandon," I know it's for me.
do. Yeah. There you go. Because you are the Brandon.
And give him a big old hug and lick him on the face.
Licking's a thing, right?
Stay
I
golden,
like
pony
it.
boy.
I like it a lot. That's a good way to show dominance.
Yeah, I think you can go less rapey and just like when you go in for the hug and you get like close to the neck, you just go
Oh my god!
taking
it
a
smells.
big old breath of air. I'm like, oh, nice. That actually might be more psychological than physical.
You would be imitating Biden. Actually, he likes to take big whiffs of people's hair.
Damn. Tom Brady mouth kissing kids. Our president smelling ladies' hair.
It's what a weird world we live in, huh?
I fucking love it.
I hate it so much.
Is
We
there anything we have going on? I think we're probably getting pretty goddamn close to out of time.
Yes,
Yeah, we're at about the
we've kind of
47-minute
rambled.
mark.
Oh, that ain't bad.
But if you want, I would like to close with this.
Okay.
The Joe Rogan thing.
He, I don't know if you've caught up with this too much, Krista, but Joe Rogan apparently has been called out by like 240, right?
Right after being called out by a doctor on his podcast.
Well, he had on this Dr. Malone, who is apparently one of the originators of mRNA vaccine technology.
Concepts, yes.
He is angry
My
because
sister and I did a rabbit hole dive about him one morning to figure out the tea about the whole situation.
he's
so.
angry that he didn't get the recognition that he
Yes.
thinks he deserves,
Certainly.
and so therefore then he is a little extra pissed off, and that's so he goes on Rogan's podcast to call out and question the efficacy of vaccines.
Yes.
His very thing, because he feels he has been snubbed, so he wants to set things right. And it turns out a bunch of people in the scientific community is like, well, this guy's a cunt. There is not one individual that has made a vaccine.
Correct.
Not one. No, not a dozen. Not 100.
No, it takes like I know it takes a village is so overused, but that's real, particularly in science.
So it's a little bit of a weird fucking thing then when you get actual scientists saying bullshit. Let's let Spotify know that this guy, all he is doing is providing a breeding ground of misinformation. Is that the society that we want?
Yeah. I also bring it up, though, because this same doctor fact-checked Joe Rogan on his own show. It had to do with myocarditis,
Yeah.
the inflammation of the heart.
Yeah.
Where Rogan's like, yeah, I saw where on the internet, the holy grail of all truthful information in life, that
Fuck books.
there's a higher chance of you getting that with the vaccination than with COVID. And that doctor immediately was like, no, you're wrong.
Incorrect.
Right.
Yeah.
You're wrong. And then Joe Rogan's like, really?
I want you to
think-
agree with me here.
He's
Yeah.
like, I think you're wrong. Young Jamie, pull up a webpage, which he did, And by God, that fucking webpage said exactly. It's like you had like 8 times more likely if you get COVID to have that than with the vaccine.
Yes.
Right.
And then Rogan's like, well, where did they get this information anyway? It's
He-
like, oh, bitch!
He needs
Ugh.
Here's the thing: if you want to like Joe Rogan, you do what you got to do.
I'm out the
but
biz.
do understand this man only exists for confirmation bias, and he has a fuckload of opinions. And really, all he wants to do is hear his opinion come out of your mouth. Yeah. That's all he's in it for.
Isn't that what Hitler did?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Mussolini made the trains run on time. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know? So.
Well, and I get worried because his demographic, Joe Rogan's, is the 24 to 34 age range. So it's a bunch
Dudes.
of
24
yeah,
to 34 dudes.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of young men being fed all kinds of shit, and it's just frightening.
That's good. That generation blows anyway.
But I mean, and Rogan
It's our
would,
future.
Rogan would tell you, it's like, look, it's like, yeah, he would tell you that, yeah, that's the
I'm in that age range.
that's the age bracket that's like the grinders, the people that get it done, and they're not really.
No,
they're
we're
not.
There are people that sit on their ass and listen to you for 3 hours every other day.
Yay.
Yeah, which makes them kind of an incel by fucking proxy. Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, I thought it was great that at least this motherfucker
Someone's
was told
saying
he was
something.
wrong, and he brought up his own proof to prove himself wrong, and then doubted it.
It doesn't matter though. I mean, he is going to twist and twist it and twist it and twist it. But what the scientific community has done through scientists, actual virologists, professors, people engaged in all of this have sent a letter to Spotify saying this man, this is the only thing he is really doing he's doing more harm than good by constantly pumping misinformation. And I would say to Joe Rogan, if you like ivermectin, actually, maybe, I don't know, maybe when it comes to AI technology, artificial insemination, maybe get a vial of that. But, well, we don't want to just go and slug that back. So maybe add a little bit of tonic water to bubble it up. So you got a little jizz fizz and then slam it down, little jizz fizz.
Did we
Little
just
branding opportunity, little branding.
trademarked already? We got it.
Let's go branding.
You want some of them fizzy balls? Jizz fizz. I feel like that's like pre-Jack.
It might be.
Do you think
Pre-Jack Swing? It's the sounds like a
Pre-Jack, that movie with Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger? That's Free Jack. My bad.
not Pre-Jack. Pre-Jack is no.
he's their golden goose though? So do you actually think they're going to do anything?
Nah, fuck.
Well, they paid him $100 million to do the bullshit that he does. But the thing is, when they made that arrangement, we had not been in the pandemic yet. So
so he wasn't doing this shit
they're
yet.
starting to realize, like, oh, we might have fucked up.
Okay, interesting.
Get some pics.
Let's get to it. What you drinking, Krista?
Oh, tequila and lemonade.
Yeah. I ain't no bullfighter.
Every time I hear the word, it just makes my eyes
Oh,
throb.
I love tequila. It's my favorite.
I lost my tequila privileges like 15 years
Oh,
ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine. I'm good.
Actually, you know what I really, really enjoy about that is because too many people. Okay, well, let's call it. Too many women say, "Oh, I drink tequila, but it makes me angry."
Oh,
Or
whatever.
makes
Really?
me whip
It's
my
li-
tutors out.
No.
It's liquor.
People, love to make that excuse.
You've convinced yourself that you get a free pass if
tequila
you're drinking
makes
tequila.
your clothes fall off.
I will say this.
It's like, well, that makes you're actually a whore. You're just
Yeah,
embodying.
Exactly.
Now you're blaming food.
Just say you're a slut.
I
Own
will
it.
say
It's
this.
fine.
I can really throw back some Jaeger and just plunk, plunk, plunk shit. You've seen me do it. And like after I drank like a pint of Jaeger in a couple of hours, and I'll just have beers afterwards because it did nothing for me.
What the hell is
It's
up
like an
with your
edible.
liver?
I don't know. My liver's probably in discussions to end the game. You know what I mean?
So having said that, what are you drinking?
A whole bunch of Budweiser.
I'm throwing out a little Benadryl and Budweiser and some other things because I find that it makes me more,
Don't they call that a jizz fizz?
Might be. the Jamba Bumba. What you listening to this week?
I'm going to be jamming Am I the Only One by Aaron Lewis so Krista can have her life ruined too.
All right.
Kill me now. Kill me now.
Number one country song in the U.S. at one point.
Oh my God, you've got to be joking.
Unfortunately, he's not.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I really wish.
Yeah, I think I need to listen to some more STP from the first 3 records, and that way a tone, right?
Be all right with that.
Anything you got cranking this time around?
I'm listening to a book called Xerxes.
Good.
I just started it. It's like a Greek mythology style book. It's very fascinating.
Xerxes, the Persian king, right?
No, so this is the name of she's a demigod.
Okay.
And I don't know the author, but she's written a few other books as well and is relatively popular. So.
All right. There's a card tomorrow. I know one name on it, so I'm good with not doing any picks this
I hope
time.
Calvin Cater gets some work done.
Calvin Cater's the name. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this week. We'll plug back in again next week and get some more. Or no, next. Well, it's a pay-per-view. I don't know. It depends. It depends on how hostile we want to be toward UFC, right?
Let's see how good a week we have.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Krista, thanks for hanging out with us
Thanks
as
for having
always.
me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back to it next week, week after. But get off our back, huh? Just let us live.
Fucking leave us alone.